Welcome back. In this segment, I'd like to ask you about these ads that I see on TV about ask somebody, and I'm not really a lawyer, I'm a lawyer referral service, and you should call me or him or somebody and we'll tell you what to do and how to do it. And what if people call these services? What happens then?
These are services that are on television for folks that have been involved in automobile accidents. And essentially they're a middleman. They will send you to a lawyer or send you to a doctor. And we tell people that they should not go to a middleman. If you've been involved in an automobile accident and you need medical attention, if it's an emergency, obviously you're going to the emergency room. But why would you go to a middleman and get a doctor that you don't know when you probably have your own family doctor? I mean, if you have ongoing problems from an automobile accident, it only makes sense to call your own doctor and ask for help from that physician. And if that physician needs to refer you to a specialist, orthopedics, neurology, that doctor can make that referral. Somebody that you don't know who's on TV advertising shouldn't be doing that. Similarly for a lawyer. If you need a lawyer as a result of an automobile accident, don't go to a middleman who advertises a 1-800 number on television. Ask people in the courthouse. Ask people in your church.
Who they recommend, who they've had experience with.
Do you have experience with somebody? Call an actual lawyer in the community that you know or have heard of and ask tough questions. Are you board certified? Have you tried this kind of case before? When was the last time you tried a case? How many cases have you tried? What are your ratings with your peers? Lawyers like myself have ratings from our peers. Most lawyers in Florida have that ratings, and you can ask those kinds of questions. You should be hiring somebody who has tried a case, knows what the inside of a courtroom looks like, and can give you fair and competent representation in your kind of case, rather than going to an 800 service and getting names of physicians and lawyers that you don't know or have never heard of.
And those lawyers, they have a list of doctors and a list of lawyers, and they just pick one and tell these callers to go to that person, and it may not be a board certified lawyer?
Well, it could be just about anybody, but it's somebody who probably pays a fee to that 1-800 number just to be on that list.
So that's how they make their money, by the fees that they get paid by the lawyers and the doctors on their list?
Sure. Wouldn't you rather have? Would you rather not have somebody that is recommended in your community, that somebody, a friend or family member, had represent them in an automobile accident? Or you have a friend who works in the clerk's office at the courthouse and you call them and say, I've been involved in an accident and I'm going to need some help. Who's trying cases? Who can handle that kind of case? Who would you recommend? Or a name from your own community that you know. You wouldn't want to call an 800 service and get the name or number of somebody that you don't know, have never heard of, and they're in a city 100 miles away.
And the same with doctors. I mean, even if you don't have your own doctor, you would rather go to a doctor that you chose or somebody recommended to you rather than one that somebody just read off a list.
Well, if you don't have your own doctor, and some people don't have their own physician, if you don't have your own physician, again, ask people in the community. That's, who have you been to see? I need somebody to help me with this. Do you know a doctor? Do you know a nurse? Do you know somebody that works at the hospital? Who in the medical community can help me with this kind of problem, rather than calling an 800 service and have them read you a name off of a list.
I feel a lot safer calling an attorney direct that I chose and go in and speak with that attorney and find out what they say, rather than calling somebody I don't know and getting assigned to somebody else I don't know.
Well, for most people, that's what makes sense.
Mark, let's talk a little bit about being board certified. Is that required to practice law?
No. Being board certified in a particular area of the law is different than having a license to practice law. There are a lot of lawyers that are not board certified in their area of specialty. I'm board certified in civil trial law. There's board certification in over 20 areas of the law right now. Medicine is similar, but far more physicians are board certified in their specialty than lawyers are. There's no requirement that a lawyer be board certified. But when a lawyer is board certified, what that means is that he or she has sat for an examination, has demonstrated requisite skill and experience in that field. When I applied the first time in the 1990s to be board certified, I had to demonstrate that I'd tried so many cases at the time of the application. And then I had to sit for a written exam and pass the written exam. And then every 5 years, I have to reapply and demonstrate that I have tried additional cases to maintain my certification.
So there's a lot of attorneys that just don't go to trial, so of course they're not going to be able to try to get board certified in trial law.
Well, I always tell folks that it's important you ask whether a lawyer is board certified if you are considering retaining him or her. There are good lawyers who choose not to go through that process, who are not board certified. But board certification is kind of a gateway that indicates that the lawyer has a degree of skill and experience in that field that you're considering, indicating they're competent in that area of the law.
So it's just reassuring to know that someone is board certified and they've gone to that trouble and they have that experience.
For any professional, medicine, law, any professional, you should ask, is there board certification in your field, and are you board certified?
Thank you, Mark. Good information. We'll be right back.